welcome to episode 11 of the second season of Reflections of a Slightly Conscious Being. I'm Sandra, a music artist that is on a journey towards consciousness. I am not a licensed psychologist, therapist, or coach. All information I share here comes from personal experience and doesn't mean to replace any kind of professional help. Today, we are going to talk about ambition. This is a tricky subject, isn't it? Ambition can be seen positively by nowadays competitive society standards or negative by religious standards, for example. So what shall we think of it? So first I went to Wikipedia to get a definition of the word ambition. So I will be quoting Wikipedia, okay?
Wikipedia, motherfucker.
According to Wikipedia, ambition is a character trait that describes people who are driven to better their station or to succeed at lofty goals. It has been categorized both as a virtue and as a vice. The use of the word ambitious in William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar from 1599, for example, points to its use to describe someone who is ruthless in seeking out positions of power and influence. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. This is Shakespeare's quote. Today, however, someone may be described as ambitious who has more benevolent aspirations. Someone who has lofty goals, drive, initiative, tenacity, and the pursuit of excellence. Aristotle encountered the same ambiguity in Greek, where the word ambition and the word for lack of ambition each had positive or negative connotations depending on the context. He was unable to discover a good term that unambiguously described the desirable golden mean for this trait.
Clovis, get out of my desk.
Sorry, guys. Crazy cat. And quoting Aristotle now, as there is no recognized term for the observance of the mean, the extremes fight, so to speak, for what seems an empty place. End of Wikipedia quote. Well, it seems like this has been a subject of discussion since the time of the great Greek philosophers. Hope I'm up to the challenge. I'll do my best, okay, guys?
You try your best, but you don't succeed.
Aristotle got to a very interesting conclusion, though. Both ambition and lack of ambition have positive and negative connotations, while the extremes, and that is being overly ambitious or complete lacking of ambition, just can't seem to see eye to eye. So let's analyze the extremes first then. So, being overly ambitious. What's positive about being overly ambitious? Well, you will strive for a better future, right? You will have a clear direction in life. You will have, because you have this clear direction, this clear image of where you want to be in your future, you will be more motivated. You will be more driven. You will take initiative more. And also, you will be able to say no to things that you recognize that are not taking you towards your goal. Okay, this is another positive about being overly ambitious or being ambitious overall.
I want it all.
But what's negative about being overly ambitious? Well, if you are overly ambitious, you can get so focused on your goals that you lose sight of everything else. You will have a tendency to focus only in the future and forgetting about the present, all right? And this can mean, not looking at means to achieve your ends, all right? This can lead you to being overly greedy, being selfish, being rigid, being insatiable, so never being satisfied. So now let's analyze the extreme opposite, which is complete lack of ambition. What's positive about it? Well, if you don't have any plans for the future, if you don't have any goal that you're working towards, you will actually be more available to enjoy the present time. You will also be more flexible. You'll be more open about the future. You're open to possibilities because you don't have a clear image, right? And this can mean you can be more present. You can be more light. You can be more free. You can be more relaxed, right? But what's negative about not having any ambition at all? Well, you'll have no goals or plans for your future, and so you will have a tendency of wasting your present moment doing stuff that only brings you short-term gratification. And this is, for example, watching TV, getting lost on social media for hours, binge watching series, all these distractions that basically are just short-term gratifications. They don't take you anywhere, okay? And it's easier for you to become lazy, to become depressed because, well, you don't know what you're working for, right? And you'll get more easily distracted and influenced by others because you are lacking a clear direction in your life. So it's no wonder, if you think about it, that people who are overly ambitious despise people who lack ambition, and the other way around. Because basically they see in each other what lacks within themselves, right? We are talking about the extremes. What one has positive, the other has negative, and so on. So I think by now, if you've seen the other episodes, and I'm sure you already have an idea of what I'm going to say next. The balance is somewhere in the middle, right? Too much ambition, and you end up living in the future. Too little ambition, and you end up with no direction in life. But this time I'm going to say more than that, all right? Because it's important to understand that there's no ideal balance that can be applied to everyone equally, okay? We have to respect our individuality. We have to respect that some of us are more ambitious than others naturally, okay? Some of us need more goals than others, and some of us just want to achieve more than others. All right? And that's all okay. There's no wrong or right here, just preferences. Where should you draw the line then, right? How to know when is it enough or when it's not too much, right? So, well, first off, I think it's important to think about your goals in life, right? Being ambitious means that you know what what you want, you know what your goals are. Right? We all have goals in our lives, but some of us don't believe our goals will ever come true. All right? In this case, you probably call your goals your dreams, and you will have a tendency to lack ambition because, well, for the simple reason that you don't believe you'll ever achieve your goals. So why bother then, right? If there's dreams and they are so out of reach, you get tendency to not believe. Okay? So why bother?
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
What are your goals, your dreams, really, if you think about it? Most people say being rich, but what does being rich means to you? Okay, because some people, I mean, they think it's 1 million euros or dollars or whatever. Some people say it's 10 million, whatever. So how much money? And what for? Because after all, if you think about it, money is not a goal per se. Money is just a means to an end. Right? You want money because you want to do something with that money. So what would you do with that money? Right? I've mentioned before that a good way for you to find your true purpose in life, your ultimate goal, your ultimate source, your ultimate reason for being ambitious is to pretend that you're already rich, okay? Money isn't an issue. And after all those things that you would do for leisure in the beginning to enjoy your new money situation, like traveling, buying stuff or whatever, what would you do after all of that, after you have indulged yourself? Thing is, rich people, and I'm sorry to break this up to you, but there are many studies supporting this fact, okay? Rich people are not happier than people with only enough money. And I'm not talking about poor people, okay? I'm talking about having enough money to support your basic needs and a bit more, okay? Famous people, which is another generic goal, right? Being famous, are definitely not happier than non-famous people. On the contrary. And you know why? Because these are conditioned goals, not goals that come from your heart and soul. Mainstream media conditions us to believe that money, fame, the ideal appearance, the ideal romantic partner, the ideal house, the ideal kids, and so on are the source of happiness and ultimate satisfaction. Don't get me wrong, okay? They can be if they are aligned if and only if they are aligned with your individual desires. But most times they are not. That's why many people get, they have this illusion that when they get married, things will be different in their lives. And on their wedding day, they're so happy, but then it wears off, right? It's like the honeymoon phase. The honeymoon is just that. It wears off. Why? Because, well, maybe you were expecting it to be an end, but it was just another step in the journey, right? So what's coming up next? So I will talk about that later. I would say that finding your true purpose, your true goals in life is definitely the first step, okay?
It is purpose that created us, purpose that connects us, purpose that pulls us, that guides us, that drives us. It is purpose that defines, purpose that binds us.
And then reassessing them, because goals change as you change and evolve, okay? Your goals in life are supposed to evolve with you. So this is exactly what I was saying. Imagine that you have a goal of getting married. You get married, and then what? All right, you have this happiness because of, you achieved your goal. Good for you. But it's time for a new goal now. Okay, what comes next? Okay, you get married. So maybe now it's a good time to sit with your partner and assess your relationship and assess goals. Okay, we got married. So what is coming next for us? Is it having kids? Is it working on our relationship and achieving, being satisfied both emotionally, physically, of course, and all of that. So this is really super important. So you both are aligned, and this is a common goal. This is a goal that includes two people. I'll talk more about that in a moment, okay? It's just important for now to understand that your goals in life are supposed to evolve with you. Don't be afraid also to change your goals, okay? Also, goals don't have to be big, right? Quit smoking can be a wonderful, great goal, all right? Changing something in you that you don't like, you can become more fit. You can choose to do more exercise because you want to get more in shape. I want to lose weight. I want to change my diet. Those can be great goals as well, all right? Some people get lost in their goals and become overly ambitious because they only have one big goal in one area of their lives. And so they end up sacrificing the other areas, all right? We all know someone, and this is a very, unfortunately, very common example. Someone who is super ambitious in their jobs. They are super competent. They are driven. They are wonderful employees. They are very career focused. But then they end up never showing up for their family, their friends, or loved ones. And this is because this person only has goals regarding their careers. Probably for their family, the only goal was to have a family. And they have a family now, so that's it for them. They don't have goals to be there for their families. And they don't have goals about how they want to show up for their partners, when they are with their partners, what's coming up next, right? And that's why, when these cases and partners have different goals they don't feel satisfied, they end up asking for a divorce because, again, different goals. And in this case, goals can be also called expectations, okay? Some of these career-driven people make bold moves out of shock. They get so shocked that suddenly they lost something that, they were taking for granted, right? And sometimes they decide to move things around, to change things around. They quit their job. They reassess their goals, right? Some just need to find another partner or family right away to replace what was lost because the pain of losing that goal was too much for them. So they don't even consider what was wrong. They just consider in replacing what they have lost. We see why it's so important to have individual true goals and not generic ones, okay? But it's also very important to have multiple goals in different areas of your life that are important to you. This way, you'll never lose sight of what truly matters to you, and you will find a balance that works for you in an individual level. And also, Don't forget, it's important to reassess your goals here and then, okay? Celebrate when a goal is achieved. Yes, definitely time to celebration. But then think about what's next, okay? When that happiness wears out, because it will wear out, when it wears out, think about what's coming next. What is your next goal? All right. We as humans are meant to have goals in our lives. We are meant to have something to strive for. All right. And also, don't be afraid to let go of a goal that you're trying to achieve, but not suddenly, or, doesn't feel right anymore, doesn't make sense to you. It's impossible to achieve all the goals we set for ourselves. We are always evolving. We are always changing. And that's a good thing. Okay. So it's important also to make peace with what doesn't make sense to us anymore, to let go. And we talked about letting go in love in the previous episode. It's just the same. Let go in love, make peace to what is. Reflect about what goals make sense to you right now, and what goals make sense to the person you want to be. Okay? Making peace with this is the key of acceptance and true, I wouldn't say happiness, because happiness is a state of mind. Happiness is a state that comes and goes. No one is meant to be happy all the time, okay? But being in peace with ourselves, being in peace with what with where we are and where we want to be, all right? Something else for you to think about. Are all your goals about you? And I've talked about common goals, for example, in relationships. So having common goals with others can be extra gratifying, but they also they are more demanding, right? Because they demand communication so that everyone included can be on the same page. So what about your goals, your individual goals? Do they benefit others in some way, or are they just about you? This is also super important. This is the difference between greed and ambition. Greed is having goals that only benefit you, and that usually doesn't end well. You can have ambition and still be generous, okay? Actually, the more you give of yourself and the more your goals benefit others, the more you'll get in return. Think about it. For example, I'm giving you a very clear example. If you are selling a good product, okay? Because you are passionate about this product, because your goal is to offer great quality at a fair price so that your customers can benefit from your work, right? This is one of your goals. Your goals is to have satisfied customers by offering a great product at a fair price. So you are actually benefiting others with your product, okay? I assure you, you will be successful if you do this. But if you sell an okay product, okay, that doesn't add anything to what already exists in the market, so you're not adding anything new, and you're only selling it, your only goal is to make money and to have a profitable business, I'm sure you won't get very far, okay? Does this make sense? I hope so. And talking about my case in particular, music is my passion, is what I love doing. But, I've been doing this for the past 7 or 8 years. I'm not even sure anymore. It doesn't matter. I started in 2016. 9 years almost, yes. I started 9 years full-time, 7 years, yes. So when I started, I had a passion. But my goal was also to make money. I'm not ashamed to say that. Yes, I wanted to make money because I wanted to quit my engineering job to be full-time on music. And so I ended up accepting all opportunities I had. I was also trying to get experience. I was trying to build a name for myself on the internet, to build a reputation. So those were my goals. And so I was accepting pretty much anything that came my way. I would do it and I would accept it. Then when I became a musician, when I achieved the goal of being a musician full time, I was in the same mindset, work, accept everything. And then after a while, after 1 year of this, my goals started changing. I wanted to focus more on my original music. I wanted to focus more on building my own fan base. And so I decided, some works that would come my way no longer made sense to me, no longer made sense to my goals, because my goals had changed, my goals had evolved. I already had achieved the goal of being a full-time musician, of having a paycheck at the end of the month. to being successful financially. So now it was not only about the money. Of course, money is important. Money became secondary. My goal was to make music and to work only with projects that I felt a passion for. And so I stopped doing many things. I've done jingles for companies in the past. I stopped doing that. I stopped accepting those kinds of jobs because they weren't satisfying to me anymore. And so they weren't aligned with my goals. And so I wasn't doing a good job doing them. And that was always my one of my goals when I do any job, musically speaking. And all my clients feel this and know this by heart. And that's why they work with me. My main goal is to do a good job and to do my best and to bring my vision. And I know as an artist and as a singer, I am a very unique singer. My voice is unique. That's what's unique about me, and that's what I'm bringing new. I have a clear focus and a good musical ear that tells me what makes sense on this song and what doesn't. All right? And I'm also flexible. I mean, I know when I'm working with other artists that their vision is more important than mine because I'm working on their project, and I respect that. So I try to bring my ideas, I try to bring my opinions, but if they think something else works better, I'm cool with that as well because it's their songs. Okay? So, and of course, I also have my original music where I can express myself fully, originally, and in an individual way. So my goals had evolved, my goals had changed. And so many projects, and it's true, many customers stopped working with me, but I also gained new customers that were aligned with this new vision that I have for myself and for my musical career. And the key to success, and I always say this, because many people say, oh, it's hard, I don't know how you do it. It's so easy. It's just staying true to yourself. And don't be afraid to say no, because when you know what makes sense to you, it's also very easy to recognize when something is not aligned with that. So when someone sends me a song, and I work in many genres, even though I'm passionate about rock, when someone sends me a song and I listen to the song and I don't like the song, because I have music it's art, and art is very unique, and some music resonates with you, some other music doesn't. I'm not saying it's bad quality music. No, I've received really good quality music, but I just don't like it. It doesn't resonate with me. And I hear it that, okay, there's nothing I can add on this project. And so I respectfully pass. I say, thank you so much for considering me. I appreciate you. But honestly, I didn't resonate with the song. I don't think I can add anything to it because I'm not feeling it, So I will politely pass, but thank you so much for considering me. And please do, if you have other projects, please send them my way, because I'm sure maybe you do something in the future that will resonate with me. You will never know. And people really appreciate that honesty. People resonate with that. And usually I never received any bad comments. On the contrary, I received, oh, thank you so much for your honesty. I totally respect that. And for sure, I will consider you again on future projects. And it happened to me, people that contact me and I didn't like the song. I didn't like the first song they sent, but then they sang another song that, wow, it's really great and I would love to be part of it. And then we work together and everything flows. So it's amazing that I don't remember having a job going wrong in a really, really long time, just because I filter what I do and I have those goals and I know what I'm striving for, and I know how to respect myself. If I receive something that doesn't resonate with me, I politely pass. Okay. And so this is it. This is the secret of having a balanced ambition and an aligned, I wouldn't even say balanced, I would say an aligned ambition. Right? And even though I'm very passionate about my job, I'm also very passionate about my free time. And that's something I also respect very much, is that if I'm on the weekend, if I'm with my friends, if I'm with my family, I rarely look at my phone. I rarely check messages, because my goal is to be there and to enjoy my family, to enjoy being with my partner, being with my friends, whatever. It doesn't matter. If I'm engaging on another activity that is not working, I am not working. And sometimes I don't answer. And if I lose some work because I didn't answer in that hour, it's okay too. That's totally fine because it wasn't the time for that. All right? And that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. By the way, this theme today was actually a suggestion by a big fan of the show. Thank you so much for your suggestion. I hope I answered to your questions. Great team, great suggestion. And guys, I want to invite you to do the same, okay? If you have a suggestion of a future team, if you have something that you would love for me to talk here, please send it to mail@sandralorenco.pt, or you can also leave it in the comments here. It's all fine. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe my channel if you haven't already, share this video if you were thinking about someone that, oh my gosh, that person definitely needs to hear this. Share it, all right? Comment, let me know your opinions, all of that. And see you next week. Thank you so much for being here.